tell you about the wishbone. I'm going to talk about infusing the wishbone with what we're doing. And I'll tell you, if somebody 5 years ago would have told me that you could do this, I'd say you're absolutely insane. Because I've had some of our coaches gone out and they say, Coach, we're going to the wishbone now, because if you go to the wishbone, you've got to make a total commitment to it. That's all you can run if you're going to run the wishbone. And so we started out and we had some pretty good people. The first year we ran it, we called it. We didn't read it. We said the quarterback come in there and say, I'm keeping it. He'd fake it to the fullback just like it, and he'd keep it and run outside. Then late in the season, and then he'd say, I'm going to give it. There's a big hole. I'm going to give it, and then fake it. So people didn't know we weren't reading it. So then late in the season, we started to run the option with a read in practice. And they did it a lot better than I can coach it. And I, kidding Kemsky about it, I said, we could get rid of you. These kids know what they're doing. They don't have to fool around with you. And so we started to do that. Now the next thing we did is this. I think this is important for you. The first move we made, we had a great fullback. He's an enormous guy. And we said, if you can get the ball to Darryl, give it to him. Unless it's just real piled up, give it to him. Then when he left, we had a little fullback, and we said to the quarterback, keep it if you can. And then the last 2 years, we've said just read it, because we use the techniques that help you in reading it, that help to read, and here it is. And then, like I said, I keep talking about that tape. I want you to see the tape, and I'm not here. You see a guy with gray hair, he's been through it in this game. At one time when Nelson was coaching, and it must have been the early 60s, he and Evashevsky wrote a book, and the publisher says, hey, Tubby, you want to make some money? Just take these books to the clinic, and you can sell them. You could sell them for $5, and I'll give them to you for $2.50. That's pretty good. This is way back, okay? I'm going to make $2.50 every book I sold. First clinic, I sold about 10. They stole 20. My God, I went home. I said, I'm not going to make a whole lot of money doing this. So the next week, I'm going to be real careful about the... So that week, I sold about 30, and they stole 20. That's it. I'm out of the book business. I've never been in the book business since. But if you want that book, you can get it with Simon Schuster and order it with a wing tee and order football by Kemsky and Raymond, or Raymond and Kemsky. That's one thing. We're just completing a videotape. As a matter of fact, I'm going tomorrow. So I'm going back home to finish it, and that will be available. It costs $51. Once again, I'm not in the business, but if you want one, you send a check to Wing T Video to the University of Delaware for $51.50, and that takes care of the postage. We'll get it to you right away. It should be a good one. It's 2 hours long, and I'm talking. Our backfield coach, Kemsky's talking. The line coach, the wideout coach, and then we've got a bunch of tapes that show some of the. You're welcome for that. The other thing is we have our own clinic. The last weekend in April, we had over 600 people there last year. And I think they charge $30, and they give you $30 worth of beer, I think, and lunch and all kinds of stuff. But anyway, so if you want to do that, you're welcome to do that. And our spring practice is in April. You're welcome to those. Okay, now. So here we go with this very tentative marriage between the wishbone, the wing tee, and how are we going to get this done and so forth. And we find out that the assignments at the attack side are almost identical to our trap option, which we don't run much anymore, but the kids had an idea of it. And the tackle's assignment is gap bump lead backer. Now, I don't have time to give you every assignment, but in telling you that, you can see our approach to teaching. So it's gap, bump, lead, backer. So if there's a guy in the gap, I block him. If there's a guy to lead on, I bump lead him and then go on up to the backer. So in this case, he's got a guy to bump on. He goes on up the backer. And that's post lead. And this is post fire. He's going to fire out there. Fire, fire, fire. The fullback is going to run for the outside leg of the guard. And the quarterback's first read, the give read, is the first thing on or outside my 3-man. Now, the 3 and the 4-man may widen out a little bit. And the quarterback, and this is the way that, I don't know if Fisher DeBerry would say this exact thing, but this is what we're doing. Quarterback takes the ball, he brings it to his belly like he does all of his technique. Like this, he brings the ball tight to his belly, elbows in. If he reverse pivots, you can't see the ball. Elbows are in tight. So you want to make sure we do that, and the quarterback is going to step back as far as he comfortably can, back. And the only width he gets is almost by accident. So he's back like this, and he jabs the ball, and as he does, he already knows who he's going to read. With a pre-snap read, he comes up. In this case, he says, I'm going to read that end. I can see it. He's the first guy on or outside the 3-man. All right? And now he jabs that ball in, and he's going to start to ride it on up in here. And he wants an early ride, and if the ball is still in the fullback's belly, as he gets over that foot, the fullback will keep it. Otherwise, both of them know it. Otherwise, he's going to pull it if he sees that end come down on the fullback. Okay? That's the base. And we got that, I call it poop and scoop, that scoop blocking and all that. Because if it works, I'm really for it. If it's bad, I get on the line coach. So what are you doing? How are you doing it? So we're doing that off the backside. Do I need that tight end in there? I don't need him in there. Right? I got motion. And there he goes. Now the quarterback going to step back, ride that ball. If he gives, of course, he's giving it there. If not, he comes back out. And there's his pitch read. I would also like to say that when a quarterback, now you said you ran that thing, do I sound like the old coach? You must have an idea where the force is at that flank. You don't want to pitch that ball with somebody right in the pitchman's face. You're going to keep it. If it's bad, you just keep it and turn on up in there. And if we get this spacing, odd spacing, then we interpret those assignments. He's going up. He's going down, post there. Everybody's reaching. That's the spot. There we go, like that. All right? And he's going to read the guy. He's going to read that man on his 3-man. Now, if he comes out and he sees that man on the inside eye of that 3-man, he says, I'm not planning on giving it to him. The wider he gets, the more he says, ha, I got him now. I may let it go. And then if we find that they're scraping fast to get to this, the addition that we will make is called loop. And loop means that he'll go outside and block the backer that way. And it's extremely important to the quarterback to realize when he calls loop, it's going to look a little bit different because he's going the outside. But that is a good technique, and that's probably 10% of the time. Yes?
What's the aiming point of the dive back?
The dive back goes for the outside leg of the guard. He's going for his right hip, to run right over his right hip. Gets the ball up here like this, and once again, if he has that ball in that cradle, by the time that quarterback has taken that one ride step, it's still in his belly, he takes it and goes.
When would you run a loop?
Pardon?
When would you run a loop?
I would run the loop if that end was so tough down inside, and the backer was scraping fast to get to the quarterback, and I don't want him in the quarterback's face, that's when we run the loop. The other adjustment that we made from that is with this. That if we got this a lot, and we found that this guy is moving out, is working his way out, we can also call gut, which means down and pull. And that's maybe 5% of the time. But by and large, it's that one basic blocking that we got. Now let's take a look at the release. Anybody getting sleepy? Do they still have food here at this time of night? I'll tell you, you get a guy called Tubby, he eats. I got to get in there and get after it. I haven't had anything to eat yet. Okay, now let's take a look at this. Now, if you follow this at all, you know that this counting is different. We're now counting from the outside, because if you count from the inside, and you can do it, you say this guy is this. That's 1, that's 2, that's 3, that's 4, this is 5. 6 is the free safety that gets involved in it. But with all the shades we're getting now, it's not like it was. Sometimes it's hard to really anticipate where they're going to be. They're moving around a lot. So we start from the outside. So 1 is the cornerback. Now I got him up here a little bit close. He should be back there. So 1 is the cornerback. He's going to cover the out, cover the corner. 2 is the force. 3 is the guy that takes the quarterback. Then they can stun around there, but somebody, they could crash down and bring him up. But the guy who ends up out there is the one who's going to play the quarterback. Could play him slow, could play him fast, whatever, and then we got to react to that. Okay, now the wideout's assignment is to crack 2 if he's crackable, stalk 1. So the wideout goes out there, he takes a look at that thing, he says, takes a step out, and he's going to crack him. Now, if he knows ahead of time that number 2 is snuck up on the line, he can't block him, then we're using a code, some kind of code. The wingback's first name, color, number, whatever. And the wingback's assignment is to check 2, stalk 1. So that in this case, he's going to check 2. He never wants 2 in the face of this pitch. He's going to check him and then block 1. So it's conceivable that this thing could start like this. 2 comes on up, and then the wideout says, hell, I can't block him. I'm going to clip him. And so he just walks up and moves up and stalks 1. And the wingback who's coming out there is already checking 2, so you got that job done. And that's the picture. Now, half a dozen things can happen to you. There's the color call where he says, hey, I don't want any part of him. He's up there too close. You take him. So right here, they know ahead of time he's going to block them there. And we're working our way to the free safety. The free safety is the guy that can get in your... We're running we call that point, where the free safety comes roaring up inside. Do you see that? Free safety comes roaring right up in there. So we said we wanted to practice that, so we told the show squad, the demo squad, said, yell the free safety, point. And he stood there doing that. And we're guilty a lot of that. I don't know how you feel about this, but I'm very sensitive about it. But if I use some term and you're supposed to know what it is, it's because you're a football coach, ridiculous. They ought to have a glossary of terms. Hey, all these things mean, and you get some of those young coaches and they'll start saying 3 technique, 2 technique, and all the stuff they're talking about, and it sounds like Egyptian. But so we're, I'd say, so anyway, that's the stalk block. There's this. And we got to be worried about the point block. Okay, now, what if we don't know what it is? We come out there and we're in it looked like 200 now. And we don't know who's going to be that force. We don't know whether the number 1 is going to roll up, or whether 2 will invert, Or we're seeing a lot of this now. 1 and 2 will both stay out of there because of those fast wideouts and the passing. They'll stay out of there, and they'll bring the free safety to force all the way from the other side, come roaring up in there. Okay? So now, if they don't know where they're going, the wideout will push on out. He'll work his way upfield, and he'll see who's going to force. If 2 inverts and comes up to force him, he'll block them. The wingbacks, he's responsible for 2 anyway. He's flaring, he's looking for somebody to come on up in there. If he doesn't get it, he just continues right on outside and stalks number 1 again. And then we've got this same blocking inside. It isn't necessary for me to do that again. And then finally, this picture looks the same. This picture looks the same, but if as the wideout is releasing and going upfield because he's reading the thing, if he sees the cornerback just back off, then he'll move right in and block the point or the free safety. So he starts coming up there, he'll go up there and whack him, and we'll just let him go because it's so soft out there, and then 2 would be blocked here by this guy, and that's a pretty good technique. And the last aspect of this is on all of our options for that wingback. If when he counts out there, he can only count 1. He can only see 1 guy out there without much hope of an immediate support, then he's going to wall off. So here you see him walling off and blocking 3. And this is what? It's a loaded option. And once again, and the quarterback knows it's a loaded option. I don't pitch the ball till I get past 3 or till 3's on his back. And once again, if you have a quarterback that can run, this gives him a pretty good shot out there. I mean, he's going to get out there and dance around and can do some things. And with the loaded option, with this call, we call this, once again, we've got a code, but generally when he goes in there, we call it 1, 2, 3. He's just calling the number, which means I'm going to wall. And then once again, this gives you a real good shot at the quarterback keeping the ball. Now, how much did I talk to you about? Did I tell you? I know I did. That we run a lot unbalanced. As a matter of fact, I would guess that we're about 65% unbalanced and about 40% loose, which means we don't have a tight end in the game. And that's what we have been. Now, I'd like to remind you here that we can easily and do run 21 from here, the buck sweep. He blocks down, that guy does that. If this end doesn't go down with that shoulder, he's going to be in trouble somewhere. The guard pulls out, kicks out, and we hand the ball off to a running sweep. So I want to be sure that you understand that we do that. Now here's the way we have handled the 2 wideouts. The inside guy is called X. Now you could call him George or whatever you want, but you got to identify him. The wideout, he's the regular spread end. He goes 2 yards wider than he ordinarily would, and X goes 4 yards inside of him. And in this picture, X is ineligible. Okay? Now, we have played, I hate to be at 8:30 at night, it's 9:30 my time. I hate to be a smart ass, but I know who's ineligible. The guy in the ball, and the football player knows when he's ineligible. Some of the officials know, not all of them. And some of the defense knows, not all of them. You'd be surprised how many times, how much, how often we'll release X in from this formation, and somebody's out there covering them. So, you know, it's okay. Now I add to this. I don't want to give you the idea I'm a magician and, you know, where's the P? But you add to that, everybody's on the line of scrimmage, and you don't know what you're going to get. 1 second, that's all he has to be. Bang, and they go. So that 1 second could change everything. And this play can very nicely be run with this wingback on the line of scrimmage there and that guy off. We call that tray, loose right tray. Or if we went the other way and brought the left halfback up on the line and stepped him back, that would be loose right trips. Now obviously when we do that, he can't come back in motion. Okay? Now here's the procedure. We've got 3 people out here to release into the secondary. Now we had 2. We had a tight end over here. He could never get to the free safety. Now I put him over on the other side. Now he can get to the free safety. That's his job. It was his job over here. Now I put him on this side. He just goes out and whacks the free safety. But as he does, he runs that 2. You know, 2 is starting to loosen off, and he's in the way, and then he just moves in to block the point. That is X. The wideout's assignment on the option was crack 2 if he's crackable, stalk 1. The wingback's assignment on the option was check 2, stalk 1. Here it is. That's what he's doing there. That's what this guy's doing, and now we're blocking the point. Okay? Now let me add something. Don't get hurt now. If I ran this guy in motion and then swept him back that way and ran the same assignment, and I cheated this guy just a little bit so he went on the snap, do you think I'd confuse the secondary? You bet. Especially when you get people who say, hey, all you have to do is get out there, find out which one of those guys is off and which way they're going to flow, and then just get after them. So to do that, that term is M, where you start back in motion and then you come on back and do your job, and the other guy tightens down a little bit so he can get to the pitch position without any problem. Good pictures, eh? Okay. That's X, is that right? If I called X load, loose, 41 option, X load, the release out of there, the wingback takes X's spot to go after the point man, and as he does, he rips it out of there, and X takes a step out of there, and he gives that linebacker his lunch. Boom! And he doesn't see him coming. It's a great picture of it. One of those jobs, you know. Mothers in the stands. Look at what George did. Look at that. Good shot. And this guy's looking. 3 is saying, that's got to be illegal. How did that happen? But this is a good play. Okay, now, we haven't even talked about this. I haven't even mentioned this. But do you recall early when we're talking about the down option? I said if there's only one guy there, he's going to wall. The option assignment for the winger is only one. It was the regular option. It's only one guy there who's going to wall off. Well, is anybody in here had the least idea about? Look at the backside. Look at that backside. There's nobody there. There's the cornerback who's got to take the pitch. Free safety's over there somewhere, and so there it is. There's only one guy there. This picture's a little wide. I don't know how it got so wide, but anyway, he's going to block the first linebacker, and we're going to run the option back to this side. Okay? Now do you see the value of check cadence? Loose right, 41-49 option, check cadence, break, you're out on the ball. He comes out, he's looking for this angle right here. He's looking for that angle. He's not counting people. He's just looking for that. If he's got that angle, 49. Check. Gives his heel a bang, and we're going to run the option that way. Good shot. Okay, and now if he found, a lot of people, because we throw off of this, a lot of people are hanging back, and they don't want to get the backs involved in this. They want the people up front to do it, and they start right away. Their first reaction is to bring that backer there, and bring this guy out. Make that backer take the quarterback and this guy take the pitch, and let everybody else just sit there and stop that thing. And when they do that, you got a good shot off the backside. Now you really got a good shot off the backside if you add M to it. Okay? Where he's going to come back like this and then does that, and that guy runs for the pitch position. So, you can play little games with it, and it gets to be a lot of fun. Oh, my favorite. They said, this guy says, Coach, every time we got a problem, you say, look in. It's a hell of a play. Run the option, look in. Okay, now, all these, when you run the look in, this happens to be Trey, loose right Trey. Wingback's up on line of scrimmage. He's not eligible. And, boy, you end up with a loaded option out there. He's going to just block the thing, and the quarterback's it gives him a lot of time to do what he wants to do. X is going to run a look in. He would like to be, I don't like my picture here. He would like to be on the inside of 2. So that, like this, he would like to be here. So the quarterback can come out. And incidentally, the pitch grip is the passing grip. You with me? He takes the ball and he just runs his hand up there. If he's going to the right, he runs his left hand up. He's going that way for the pitch. But it's the same as a passing grip. See, he comes out there, he slides it up, cocks it up in the passing grip as he's moving. He rides that thing, takes a look, and just goes, boom, just like that. Just pops it right out there. You got these guys that are really aggressive to get up there, to get all over that option. And he looks in. The wideout has the freedom of running a fly, an up, or to stop out there. Just curl up. So if this isn't any good, then you got to curl up here or a fly behind that thing. Now, if they're going to press off of this side, off the front side, then you got your right halfback right there in the tray position to block him. And we added another thing that we had to do this year. They started to bring that guy up on the line of scrimmage, and even sometimes the cornerback up there, and try to catch it from behind. So when the wingback sees that, it's option pass, look in. He starts and he automatically runs M and blocks off the backside. So he's going to come back in motion. He said, I got problems with it. Stops, just turn and blocks. And it's surprising. There's so many things that you say, oh, no, you can't do that. But when I watch those tapes of this guy running M, I lose him. He starts in motion, and I just automatically think he went over there. So that becomes a very effective thing. And it also gives you rise to any number of other patterns from it. This happens to be point flag. Okay? So X has been running to the point all day. He starts out there and runs to the point, and the free safety says, I'm going to buy that. I'm going to get up there. And this guy sees this thing set up in front of him, and he just runs to the point. There's a hole there. Okay? Now, it would be remiss if I didn't tell you this. One of the finest football plays from this is the Sally. Did I tell you the Sally is a staple? Well, here's a guy on the line of scrimmage who is ineligible, but he can come back and take the ball. And all he has to do to regain his eligibility is spin around. He has to be 2 yards. He has to be 2 yards from the ball when he gets it, which is fine. That's deep enough. And he has to be facing the goal line before he before you can hand the ball forward to him. It's rule, you don't, but it is, check it. So he just gives it this, and then we can run. These folks are going to do this and this off the backside. He runs that, steps back, hands the ball off, and there he goes. So we're going to run the Sally from every formation and from every position. On the line, the wing back, the dive spot. I mean, you know, that once again is a staple. Okay, now every one of these is a good play, isn't it? I'm going to show you some more. I feel kind of silly about this. Of everything I got, they say, oh, Coach, did you ever lose? Did you ever run a play that didn't make 20 yards? Yeah, I got a lot of them. But one of the things that happens now is that when they see this action, they get this guy roaring up in here and this guy coming over there like that. This is throwback. It happens to be loose right trips. Got 3 over there. He comes in motion, fake the option this way, comes back and just fires the ball. Now he doesn't have to come back. Just turn around and throw it if it's there. Once again, if this left halfback sees some pressure in there, he'll block it right there now. But if he knows they're rolling up, as I have in this picture, then he'll just take off that way, and he is just as good a candidate for that touchdown pass as the throwback. The first ball game that we ran this in, we threw 3 touchdown passes in the ball game. And then the defense had already decided, we're not going to let you run the option to that short side this way. And they gave us that. Now I want to show you that tape now. Where's it? Do we have the guy here that do that? I want to show you the tape. I'll talk you through that thing. Pardon? Only if they want to see it again. I'll just make sure they see it. And then and I can't read near it. I'll just, can you see it over there? Okay, let her go. Not too good.
Yeah, we gotta warm up.
Now I'll go back again. See, let her warm up some more. The first play is 121. And the path of the left halfback, well, we can do better at. Go back some far back, even farther yet. Apparently, we're not going to be able to see this. Now, the reason I did this is because it got you all kind of. Now you can buy the tape. Says, nah. Can you freeze it? I don't know if you can see this or not, but this is the buck sweep to the wing. The buck sweep to the wing, it goes all the way. And then we show it. Again, that's still not focused. That's not high tech. And then we'll show you the same play again. It's too bad you can't see it from the end zone. And you can see the blocking develop. But he makes that cut, that real nice sharp cut upfield that makes it possible for him to break away. And here we're going the other way now. This is the waggle. He's coming to the tight end. Can you see any of this? Let's go back again. See if we can do this. Here's a tight end waggle. Can you freeze it at all? Yes, not. So the tight end's running up the seam, and there's a safety comes over, and the halfback is open behind him. If we'd been able to see that. You can see him down the seam down there, but anyway, they just pumped the ball down the seam. We got so few people there. If we had a VCR and a regular television, yeah. Is that what it is? I don't know. If it is, forget about it. I can entertain you for another few minutes. Do you have any? Are there any questions? Pardon? Okay. Yes.
Do you have any videos or manuals that have the drills that complement the wing fitting?
You know, we don't have, and I agree with you. I think we should, but we don't. As a matter of fact, we had a tape a couple of years ago where the line coach gave the line technique in the back. We did that, but we don't have it on the current one. You know, where I was laughing coming in here about the number of clinics that I've been to. You can imagine the clinics over a period of time that I've been coaching. I've seen everything and anything. I went to a clinic in Grand Junction, Colorado, and there was nobody there. I mean, nobody at all. And I went to another one in Texas, down in San Antonio, and I started to work, and the place was packed, and they said, "Would you move over a little bit?" And I said, "Well, yeah. What's up?" He says, "Well, there's 1,500 guys upstairs at closed circuit television watching this thing. You got to make sure you sneak over to the side." And like I've seen them all, but I've never had this happen to me. Do you have any other questions?
Coach, is this tape that you got, is it brand new, nothing like we've had out before?
It's brand new. As a matter of fact, we're just finishing it. It's with a lot. Some of this stuff is on it some of it has. It shows you the picture from up above, the side angle, and then it gives you the end zone shot where you can see the blocking develop. And well, if you don't have any more questions, let's go get something to eat. I'll hang around here if you want to visit. Thank you very much.